Traders, picking up from where we left off. This is going to be another video on price action strategy for swing trading, right? And we'll be looking at the DXY, EURUSD, gold, NAS100 and WTI crude. So with that said, we're just going to get straight into it. So last week we looked at the DXY and we did a broad analysis of the overall direction of where the DXY was actually doing, right? So if I go back as far as the chart will allow me, we can see that we have somewhat of an uptrend. It's a slow uptrend, but it's an uptrend nonetheless, right? And in that, I placed my fib level, so you can see the fib on the screen. And the fib is basically deriving from this location over here and this location over here. And this, in fact, gives us the zone that we may want to consider taking our long positions from. Because overall, if I was to go back as far as the chart will let us, I need to stop dragging the fib. If I was to go back as far as the chart will let us, we can see that we have a slow uptrend in market right now. Okay, so with that, it's only natural to assume the price is going to continue in this direction to the upside. Okay, now we're looking at this on a day, so you're going to be getting a lot of intermittency in market in terms of it swinging up and down as it stays within the range, and you're going to need to be mindful about that. One of the key things here, especially on this channel, is that we are swing traders. Okay, so we always look at the higher time frame. Now in this higher time frame, what we can see here, okay, is we can see that we have a FEG in this area right here, and there is a possibility the price will tap into it. So price may do something like this, fly into this FEG and then make its way down here. This is where we are expecting to get a bounce from price to push to the upside. This is the zone that we are waiting for. Okay, now the larger version of this zone that I've just drawn out is the one where price is in right now, and that is this large orange zone right here. Okay, so this little box that you're seeing is a smaller version of this larger box, which is of the larger move to say price wants to push to the upside. And this is what we would get, say, on the hourly time frame or the 4-hourly time frame, where we will plan our entries in this zone to ride price to the upside. Why I'm saying what I'm saying right now is because we have the signal already. Okay, so first we had the break of structure down here, which was to confirm that price wanted to push to the downside, but immediately after this break of structure, price went above and created a change of character. So therefore, taking this immediate data as it is, I will be of the mindset that price intends to push to the upside. So I will be preparing to take moves to the upside. Okay, now if I am not trading the DXY, which I'm not, then that will basically mean for me that I would need to look for that same position in EURUSD where I'm looking for bearish moves. So with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into the EURUSD, and this will give us a rough idea as to what it is that we're looking for. So just like the DXY, we can see here that we have price in the zone itself. So this is the larger body zone that we've derived based on market behavior, and this is derived from these two locations right here. So the fib is taken from this level to this level, and you can see the price points right here. So these are the price points for where we derive the actual large body fib from. Okay, now obviously, like with all traders, okay, we will want to look for positions where we can reduce our risk as much as possible. So in doing so, I created a smaller version of that fib level, and as we can see, we have this orange box right here, and we have the FEG that I talked about in last week's video. So if you haven't seen last week's video, go and check that out. I talked about price maybe coming into this zone and possibly breaking away, but the ideal scenario that we're looking for is we want price to come into this zone right here, so we can get it at a much cheaper price and ride price to the downside. But in this zone, it gives us the 50% of the fib, which is still good enough. We can still take that if you want to. But if whether you decide to take your sales from in this area or in this area over here, you must have this area here as your stop. Okay, it's absolutely essential that you do so. If you have it any lower than that, yes, you are protecting your capital, but you run the risk of being stopped out. If your stop is placed above this swing high up here, essentially what that means is if you are stopped out, you're wrong in your analysis entirely, and you need to face the other way, which is take long positions. What happens if price closes above this level? Essentially, we would have a break of structure, because overall looking at this on a much larger time frame, okay, whoops, I got that all wrong. So overall, in a much larger time frame, we can see that this is bearish. Okay, so just to recap, if price closes above this level up here, okay, it's fair to assume that price is going to be pushing up, and we would need this level over here taken out, which is 1.125721, which will form the change of character, which I've highlighted in this area over here, to say that price intends to push to the upside, right? And then once that happens, we know that Euro USD is going to go bullish. But in my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen at all. What I think is going to happen, the most likely scenario based on what I'm looking at right now, is that price is going to break down. Now, if I expand this a little bit, we can see that if you're thinking about making moves on a lower time frame, you would have had the opportunity to do so, because we had a change of character, a confirmed change of character on Wednesday the 8th of April, and that's this level right here. Okay, so if you're taking the next candle after that, you probably would have had an opportunity in here, okay, on the hourly to ride it to the upside. You'd be sitting in this FVG right now, at which point it would make a lot of sense to protect what you've already made in the market by possibly placing a trailing stop under this bullish candle over here, okay, to see what happens when market opens in a few hours time. So my overall sentiment in regards to Euro USD is that of bearishness, okay, and my sentiment in regards to the DXY is bullishness, right? I may be right, I could be wrong, only time will tell. And also as well, it's super important that you know this, I'm not a financial advisor giving you financial advice. I'm only just sharing with you my point of view, my personal opinion based on what I think market is going to do and how market is going to do it. It is upon you to do your own work, your own research, to make sure everything you're hearing makes sense to you. So with that said, we are going to jump into gold. Now, once again, we've done a bit of work on gold. Nothing pretty much has changed from last week's analysis in terms of the areas of concern that I pointed out, which is if we get a close above 5,409, we're looking for bullish moves to the upside. If we get a close below 4,101, we're looking for sales to the downside. I believe there is a higher probability that price is going to come down and knock out this level, therefore creating a break of structure at this level, okay, and we may possibly get priced down here. Me personally, I am super bullish on gold. I am forever bullish on gold, okay, so I kind of want this to happen so that I can position myself down here to ride it to the upside. For me, it's going to be easy money. At the same time, I may get that, I may not get that. I just have to wait to see what happens. But in the meantime of me taking on that mindset, what I can tell you is that gold is slowly taking its time to make its way up into this area right here. This is where, if you're thinking about taking sales, you might want to think about doing it from this location where price might ride down into this zone right here, creating a break of structure at this level. If we get a change of character in this at this zone, we may ride price all the way up to the upside, just providing it doesn't do a reject at this level where we have lower lows being created. So we don't want another lower low should price come down. We want it to blast through, knock out this level, therefore creating that change of character that we want, and then we can just ride gold to the upside. With so much uncertainty in the world right now, with everything that's going on, I expect that to take place, supposing to gold to continue to break downwards, right? So that is my sentiment. I think Although gold is kind of gone into a bearish stance at the moment right now, I think overall it's going to go bullish very, very soon. It might be a couple weeks or a couple months in the making, but ultimately it is going to go bullish, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be there for the ride to the upside, because once again, I am forever bullish on gold, right? So with that said, I'm just going to clean up some of the stuff that I've done here just so that we don't have too much noise on this thing. So we're just going to get rid of all of this stuff here. Keep this chart nice and clean, and only just keep what we need. So with that said, what I'm going to do now is we're going to look at the NAS100. Okay, so with NAS, what we can see is that we have NAS in position. So NAS is coming to the zone that I talked about in last week's video, right? So it's coming into the zone right now. So all we're basically waiting for in this area is for NAS to perform a change of character to say it wants to come to the downside. Okay, that probability is quite high because of the change of character that we had in this zone, okay, that took place last week, in the sense of these bearish candles to the downside. So as it stands, we could kind of anticipate that move happening. But at the same time, okay, NAS could fly off from this level, therefore creating a new change of character at this level, which would be 26,299 for price to push to the upside, which means there would have been a possibility of a flaw in my analysis, because I'm expecting price to break down even lower. But however, if it takes off from the level, this zone right here, and rise to the upside, then last week's analysis would have been inaccurate, which is fine. Okay, which is fine. I don't profess to be to give perfection in my analysis, but what I do profess is that I will give the absolute best analysis that I can give you based on what it is that I'm seeing and how I'm seeing it. So as it stands, we're at the zone right now where we're waiting to see what is going to take place. Okay, so if price breaks down from this level over here to make its way downwards, we can expect a break of structure down here, and maybe price lands in this zone before it does another pullback. If it does another pullback and breaks down some more, this is the level that I'll be expecting price to come down into. In all fairness, I can't see NAS dropping any lower than 20,224. I can't see it coming any lower than that, but it could. And if it does, naturally, if you are a NAS investor, you'll be getting NAS at a really, really, really good price, and you'll be able to load up as much as possible to ride it to your upside term, to ride it to the upside. That's just my personal opinion, okay? So that's something that you have to think about to see if it makes sense to you. And if it does, naturally, you can play the game. Now, with that said and done, we're going to look at oil. Now, the cool thing with oil is that we had a ceasefire declared, and like I said in the previous week's video, this is what a ceasefire would do. It would literally make price drop rapidly, right? And that was what I was looking to catch with oil. I was hoping to catch this move. I never caught any of this, by the way. I was hoping to, but I didn't catch any of it because I was still apprehensive with the ceasefire. Reason why I was apprehensive with the ceasefire is that the deals that the United States is agreeing to, I know for a fact the United States will never agree to those deals, right? Which means the ceasefire at some point is going to break down. United States agreeing to Iran will effectively end the United States in the Middle East, right? And the United States is and the Middle East is too important to the United States for them to just give it up like that, right? So what I think is basically going on right now in the Middle East is, I think the fighting parties are reorganizing, rearming to get back into the fight again. So I think this here is a false alarm. I think the war is going to kick back up again in the next couple days or the next couple weeks, where it's going to be more intense. You can already see what's going on across the globe now in the sense of the draft. Everybody, all the nations, all the powerful nations are building up for a big fight. So peace is definitely off the table, and the drums of war is now beating. And I think the Iran situation is not over, and this is going to be the beginning of a war that is going to expand on a much greater level. This is just my opinion, right? This is just my opinion, so it doesn't have to be true. It's just my opinion. It's just what I think is going to happen. So as time moves on, we're going to see how everything kind of develops, but this to me is a false alarm. So what I'm kind of doing with oil is I'm using it as a case study. Okay, I'm using it as a case study that I would activate again at some point in the near future as to how to best navigate this whole entire oil situation. So I don't think I'm ever going to be trading oil as this war is going on. Okay, if we expand some more and we get to levels of, say, I don't know, 150, 170, $200 per barrel, okay, then at that point it's going to make sense to kind of jump in if a ceasefire is declared, right? But at the same time, I don't think I will. I just don't think I will. I think I will stick to what I know and what I love, which is oil, silver, and the currency pairs, right? I think I will stick to that. So as it stands, if you want an analysis from me based on what I think is happening in oil, based on the technicals, there is not really much I can offer, because what we have in the Middle East right now is more based on fundamental analysis than the technical side, just because it doesn't matter what I put on here, the FVGs, all of that cool stuff. One single tweet, one public announcement by either presidents, either the Israeli president, the American president, or the Iranian president, or even China, as a matter of speak, could derail the whole of the work that I do here. So all I can do to keep it nice and simple is just mark out areas of support and resistance, and notable levels where if price goes above or below, it can signify certain things to us. And for that would be this location right here. So we'll be looking at this level right here, which is $126.43. So if we get a close above this level right here, we can say that we expect oil to push up even higher. It might do some type of a pullback, but I believe it will push down higher. It will push up higher. And if we get a close below this level right here, okay, it's fair to assume, so the level of $54.98, it's fair to assume that we've gone back to a normal setting, okay, and oil is returning back to normal. This level right here we will see on the news, okay, so we will see on the news in the form of a ceasefire. So wherever it is, it will drop all the way down and it will come lower and lower and lower. Now, for me personally, this whole thing is tradable, but it's dangerous, right? In my opinion, you can trade this, but it is dangerous. So what I will say is tread carefully in this space of oil, right? And if you're observing, like I am, this is the fantastic opportunity to do a case study to learn how oil actually moves with real-time data during conflict, right? So with all of that said and done, I'm going to end the video here. I want to thank you for coming over to watch this analysis. If you found the content useful, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next video, which will be next week Sunday. So till then, happy trading guys, happy trading.